OMR Daily News broadcast of top stories trending in Montserrat. In our headlines for today, Montserrat faces uphill battle to address financial woes and improve governance. Montserrat welcomes luxury cruise ship, but concerns linger over equitable tourism growth. And Montserrat battles surge in flies and mosquitoes amidst growing health concerns. In our top stories trending in Montserrat, the newly elected government of Montserrat is grappling with a host of inherited financial challenges that threaten to undermine the island's economic and social development. In a recent statement, Premier Ruben Timid acknowledged the dire state of government's finances, citing poor project monitoring, unresolved legal issues, and mismanagement of public funds as key concerns. One of the most pressing issues is the government's liability in a long standing lawsuit unrelated to the island's port project. The premier revealed that the government is now facing a staggering $8 million bill, including compounded interest, due to the previous administration's failure to address the matter. This financial burden will place significant strain on the government's limited resources and could impede its ability to invest in critical infrastructure and public services. Additionally, the premier highlighted the government's failure to pay rent for land used for a water project, which has now escalated to litigation. These types of oversights and financial mismanagement have become a recurring theme for the island, further eroding public trust in the government's ability to effectively manage its affairs. The premier also acknowledged that the government's efforts to provide salary increases for civil servants have come at a significant cost, with funds being diverted from other essential ministries and departments. This has left these entities underfunded and struggling to fulfill their mandates, potentially compromising the delivery of public services to the people of Montserrat. Despite these challenges, the Premier has expressed a commitment to resolving the financial woes and improving the government's governance practices. He has pledged to collaborate with the private sector to inject much needed resources into the local economy, with a focus on enhancing tourism infrastructure and supporting housing construction. However, the public remains skeptical of the government's ability to deliver on its promises of transparency and accountability. The lack of detailed information provided in the Premier's recent updates has fueled concerns that the government may be withholding critical information from the public or failing to address other pressing issues. For the residents of Montserrat, both on the island and those living abroad, the government's ability to overcome these financial and governance challenges will have significant implications. The success or failure of the government's efforts will determine the island's future economic and social stability, as well as the quality of life for Monstratians. The advantages of addressing these issues could include a more efficient and accountable government, increased investment and economic opportunities, and improved public service and infrastructure. However, the continued mismanagement of public funds and lack of transparency could further erode public trust, hamper economic growth, and perpetuate the island's reliance on and external aid and support. As Montserrat navigates this turbulent period, the government must demonstrate a clear and comprehensive plan to rectify the financial and governance shortcomings while actively engaging with the public and incorporating their concerns and perspectives. Only then can the island truly chart a path towards a more prosperous and sustainable future. In an historic moment for the island of Montserrat, the luxury super yacht Emerald Azura docked at Port Little Bay last Thursday, marking a significant step in the island's efforts to enhance its luxury tourism offerings. The visit was attended by Parliamentary Secretary Cranston Buffon and officials from the Montserrat Tourism Authority, including the new Product Development Officer and the Marketing Development Officer. The group exchanged plaques with the ship's captain, solidifying the partnership and the island's commitment to welcoming high end travelers. The passengers who disembarked were treated to a range of tours and activities, including visits to the buried city of Plymouth, the Botanical Garden at the National Trust, and the Montserrat Volcano Observatory. According to reports, the visitors were thoroughly impressed with the information and experiences shared about Montserrat's rich history and natural wonders. The Emerald Azura is scheduled to make additional visits to Montserrat before the end of the cruise ship season, including on December 27th. Visitors from the Sea Cloud 2 cruise ship are also expected to arrive before the end of February. These new additions to Montserrat's itinerary are seen as a testament to the island's growing appeal among international travelers. While this development is undoubtedly positive for Montserrat's tourism industry, concerns have been raised about the equitable distribution of the benefits. The information provided indicates that the only businesses that were exposed to the visiting passengers were those owned or operated by the government, such as the National Trust and the Montserrat Volcano Observatory. This raises questions about the opportunities afforded to the island's private sector businesses, which could have greatly benefited from the influx of high end visitors. Construction entrepreneurs and small business owners may have been overlooked, potentially missing out on valuable chances to showcase their products, services, and local cuisine. For residents of Montserrat, both on the island and those living abroad, the implications of this tourism development are multifaceted. The potential advantages include increased economic activity, job opportunities, and enhanced international recognition of the island's unique offerings. However, the lack of equal access to these newfound tourist dollars could exacerbate existing socioeconomic disparities and limit the overall impact on the local community. Moving forward, the Montserrat government and the Tourism Authority must address these concerns and ensure that the benefits of the island's growing luxury tourism industry are distributed more equitably. This may involve developing comprehensive strategies to engage and empower the private sector, providing support and resources to local businesses, and creating a more inclusive tourism ecosystem that reflects the diverse talents and offerings of the Montserrat people. By embracing a holistic and inclusive approach to tourism development, Montserrat can leverage the arrival of luxury cruise ships and high end travelers to truly transform the lives of its residents, both on the island and those living abroad. This balanced and sustainable path forward will be crucial in solidifying Montserrat's reputation as a premier destination that celebrates its rich culture and showcases the resilience and entrepreneurial spirit of its people. Montserrat battles surge in flies and mosquitoes amidst health concerns. The island of Montserrat is grappling with a concerning increase in the population of flies and mosquitoes, prompting a warning from the Minister of Health, Dr. the Honorable Ingrid Buffon. Speaking on ZJB Radio on Monday, Dr. Buffon highlighted the potential health risks associated with the surge in these insects, including the spread of conjunctivitis, gastroenteritis, gastroenteritis, and the threat of mosquito borne diseases. According to the health minister, the government is set to focus its efforts on addressing the issue at the island's dump site, which she identified as a prime breeding ground for flies due to the warmth, moisture, and available garbage. Dr. Buffon explained that while burning the dump site is not an option, as it could lead to the airborne dispersal of hazardous materials, the government is seeking extra help to tackle the problem. Addressing the residents of Montserrat, Dr. Buffon emphasized the importance of personal hygiene and vigilance in protecting themselves from the risk posed by these insects. She urged the public to be especially cautious when handling and serving food, emphasizing the need for thorough hand washing. The minister also advised the residents to consider wearing long pants and using mosquito repellents when spending time outdoors, particularly in areas with high mosquito presence. The health minister provided concerning details about the rapid life cycle of flies, explaining that a single female fly can produce up to 150 eggs in a day, with the potential to generate over 500 flies within a month. This rapid multiplication underscores the urgency of the situation and the need for a comprehensive and sustained effort to control the fly population. While the government has already undertaken some spraying efforts, Dr. Buffon acknowledged that these measures have not been entirely effective, and the fly problem continues to persist. The minister's lack of specifics on the type of assistance the government expects or the details of its planned approach has left the public with lingering questions and concerns about the efficacy of the proposed solutions. The publications of this public health crisis extend beyond, that is, the implications of this public health crisis extends beyond the immediate health risk to the residents of Montserrat. The prevalence of flies and mosquitoes could have far reaching consequences for the island's tourism industry, as visitors may be deterred by the unsanitary conditions and the potential for contracting insect borne illnesses. For monstrations living on the island, the surge in these pests could disrupt their daily lives, impact their ability to engage in outdoor activities, and increase the burden on the healthcare system. Monstrations living abroad may also be concerned about the welfare of their loved ones and the broader implications for the island's economic and social well being. As the government works to address this pressing issue, it must prioritize transparency and clear communication with the public, providing detailed information about the specific steps taken, the timeline for implementation, and the expected outcomes would help to allay the concerns of the Montserratian community, both on the island and abroad. Ultimately, the successful mitigation of the fly and mosquito problem will require a comprehensive, coordinated, and long term approach that involves the collaboration of the government, the public, and the private sector. Only then can Montserrat effectively safeguard health and well being of its residents and protect its reputation as a desirable tourist destination. This concludes our daily news broadcast for today, 17th December 2024. Thank you for joining us at One Montserrat Radio. I'm your host, Karen Allen Martin, wishing you a pleasant and productive day from the OMR Newsroom.